Welcome back to the middle of the North Atlantic, where this crew of two is Caribbean bound. If you've been following this series, you know it's been an eventful and a slow go, but things have finally started to look up.
It's been really nice to be going a little bit faster.
Or so we thought. It's been a demanding sail so far across the pond, and after the past 18 days out here,
not gonna believe it.
You can imagine our heartbreak and frustration when we have to make a complete 180. Literally.
We're heading back to Europe.
If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. I'm Steph, and the Sleeping Beauty over here is Travis. This is our second Atlantic crossing with just the two of us. After spending the past year sailing up north in much colder climates and then into the Mediterranean, we've been eager to return to the Caribbean for some tropical sunshine. You found us here in part 7 of our Atlantic crossing series. It's been an interesting ride so far, so be sure to watch from the start. We'll link our crossing playlist under this video for you to get all caught up on after this episode.
A very active, busy night for Travis. It was our first night flying the spinnaker overnight, and it was pretty demanding, so Travis wanted to stay up and tend to the spinnaker. He said his night was very demanding, constant adjustments because the winds kept changing, the seas were changing, they were very messy, and the sea state hasn't really settled down. Settled down a little bit overnight on my watch this morning, but it's picked up again. We've kind of noticed that about the morning. The winds seem to pick up a little bit, and we've been calling them like the morning winds. And then they'll die off a little bit later in the afternoon. So we've just continued to fly the spinnaker, gaining some speed. We're going quite fast this morning, actually. We were surfing over some waves at 8.5 knots, kind of making up for some of the ground that we didn't do the first little bit of the crossing. Still trying to just climb our way over. And it's starting to really feel like it's never ending. Like, we're day 17 and I still feel like we're no closer, but at least we're heading the right way now. Like, we're heading west towards the island chains. We're not aiming up to Canada. We're not aiming south to Brazil. We're actually on course. It's still a little messy out here though. You can take a look. Angry sails. Oh, somebody's awake. Oh, hi. What?
Isn't it day 18?
No.
The days are all the days.
It's just another day. And we just hope that every day is a little bit more comfortable than the last. Okay, scratch that. It is officially the start of day 18. Took us a little while to figure that out, but it is day 18. We've just kept the same time zone as when we left because we've established our sleep patterns and all of that. We didn't want to change that. But it is quite odd now because when it's my watch, normally from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. I normally get the sunrise, but the sun isn't coming up until like 9 a.m. It's still pitch dark, so I'm pretty sure that we've at least moved back 2 hours. I don't know, maybe you'll get sunrise, maybe Travis will get a sunrise on watch, and I think I just get pitch dark. We were a little bit worried about flying the spinnaker overnight, but it seemed like the squalls had stopped. And early this morning on my watch, we did get winds clocking up to 19.9 knots, which is kind of like...
Where did these come from?
Oh, the seas? You didn't feel that downstairs? Yeah.
Holy.
So the winds did climb up to 19.9 knots with our spinnaker. But I think it was okay. Like, with the sea state we were in, it wasn't too concerning. But I know that we personally just didn't want to fly the spinnaker more than 20 knots. But yeah, it was fine overnight, which is good. We're still flying it now. Think the winds are going to die in a few days. A little worried about that, but we'll just concern ourselves with today for now and just clocking those miles, getting closer to the Caribbean. A little produce check. The little bin here is looking quite sad. We've got 3 apples because those last the longest. 2 oranges. Told you we should have got more apples. 1 mangy looking kiwi that's got to get eaten. 2 potatoes. And a bunch of these little potatoes. Definitely wish we got more apples. Oh, there are 2 avocados in the fridge that I've been holding on to in case we do catch that tuna. Now I'm just gonna make some breakfast or / brunch for Travis because I already ate. Sad thing is we also used the last of our flour yesterday. I made this little tiny loaf of bread, egg bread, and Travis is nice to me, I will make him a glorious breakfast. All your faves, like hash browns, toast, eggs, and bakey with a little bit of fruit, that kiwi. How good does that sound?
That sounds pretty delicious. Ah, I'm blinded.
Oh yeah, so I'm just
Just blasted me
just
in
want to see your pretty little eyes. I'm gonna make that for you.
Yes, I do.
Show me. It's the cutest. Do it again. He just doesn't like me calling him cute bear. Sometimes he's grumpy bear, sometimes he's cute bear, sometimes he's don't bother me bear, like right now. Alright, back to the kitchen. Alright, 1,000 degrees later and we're done. We had to throw out that kiwi because unfortunately it did go bad, but this will do.
Way out here. You treat me well.
Breakfast of champions.
You treat me well. Homemade bread. Homemade hash browns. Delicious. Muy bueno.
So weird though.
Why?
Finger's still bare.
The wind's clocked pretty heavily southeast. Enough southeast that the wind is now on our nose. And we're still heading 260 degrees course over ground, which is kind of interesting. So who would have thought? It's a downwind passage. Nope. It's now an upwind passage. Now it's good. We're losing the wind, so now we got 10 knots of wind in front of the beam, so we're able to actually move faster than 5 knots, because most of the day we've been slowly dwindling from 5 in the morning or 5 to 6 in the morning to like down to 2.5, 3 knots, and then the winds just went whoop. So I think we're only going to get this for a couple hours, and then the winds say see you later, and then we're going to be not sure, because the sea state's still pretty rolly, so even if the winds were down to like 4 or 5 knots, there's no way we're flying any sail and moving anywhere comfortably. It would just be mad aggressive on the sails. So I fear that we may have to turn the motor on. Or we just found a holy grail pocket of wind, and we're just going to keep on this course all the way through the no wind section, and we'll be fine. Right now we're flying the spinnaker and the mainsail, which is pretty cool. And again, not going to believe it. Can't see him on AIS yet, but I don't know. I would say about 3 miles behind us, there is another sailboat. And he has been right on our tail all day. Exact same course. If that guy passes us at night within half a mile, I'm just going to lose my mind, because that'll be like almost the 6th night, I think. 5th or 6th night of someone passing us within that close. Like, we're in the middle of the friggin' ocean. You're ridiculous. Go away.
Tonight, we see our first lightning storm out here. We personally love watching thunder and lightning, but from land. Not so much on our moving boat with a metal rod soaring up into the sky in the middle of nowhere.
All right, welcome to day 19, and we're actually a little bit heeled today to the starboard side because we are sailing. There goes the camera. So as I was saying, we're currently sailing on a beam reach. So we're heeled a little bit to the starboard side because the wind is hitting us on a beam, which means it's hitting us at 90 degrees on our port side. And it's really nice that we're actually able to sail, because we were worried last night that the winds were going to die and we were going to have to motor. That's what the forecast had said. And the winds did something funny last night. They were kind of circling us at 8 knots. And because of the weird circling that they were doing, we weren't able to sail with the spinnaker. We tried that. We weren't able to sail with the main and our Genoa. So we did have to motor for half an hour until they kind of stopped doing whatever weird things they were doing. And then the wind started to clock a little bit more southeast, meaning we could sail on a beam while following our course. So it's been really nice to be going a little bit faster in these winds than we normally would have been able to going downwind. Like, you were able to sail all night going anywhere from 6.5 to even 7 knots sometimes, getting ourselves a little further west and closer to the islands. Hello.
Oh, hello. Yeah, we got really lucky last night because it seemed really close, that lightning, but it kept this distance.
It kept going away.
Yeah, it was a cool show, that's for sure. Watched it for like an hour and a half.
We're actually kind of sailing a little closer than a beam right now, eh? Still got quite some big swell here. Obviously the camera's not going to show it.
Well, the joys of a close reach aiming towards our destination have come to a bitter halt. We are now going northeast. We're heading back to Europe apparently. We're either heading to Europe or heading to Antarctica, so I think we'll head northeast and see what the winds do. Because I don't know what they're gonna do, and no idea. Looks like this big system sort of over here is kind of playing with the wind, so I'm hoping they return and we end back on course, because it's no fun. And I don't want to have to motor because the sea state that we're in is quite interesting. It's like these huge, gigantic rollers. They're very comfortable when you're heading into them, which is straight north, but if we gotta head west and we don't have wind to fill our sails, it's gonna be a very, very aggressive side roll. Check these waves out.
The thing about sailing is, it's rarely ever a straight sail from A to B, which is perfectly fine when we're doing good speed and generally heading in the direction of our destination. So you can imagine our frustration when we finally make some good speed and we're on course. We're feeling like this passage is never ending now that we're heading straight backwards. On the bright side though, Jibsea's finishing the day with a freshwater rinse. If we thought it's been a slow go so far, these glassy calm waters are indicative of no wind and what we have to face next. Join us next week for the seemingly never-ending sail to the Caribbean. We'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. All we've got is time out here, so we'll be reading each and every one of them. Thanks for tuning in, and please remember to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in our next episode.